Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I've got something that's been a long time coming, so let me welcome you to the bonus episode for Let's Play Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition and Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. So this video is going to serve as a little bit of extra bonus content for the DMC3 and 4 LPs. This is just going to be an exploration of some of the things that were added in those games that we didn't get to really flesh out and explore in the main LPs, like Bloody Palace here for Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition. Bloody Palace's inception can actually be traced back to Devil May Cry 2, but DMC2 is a terrible game, so we never bothered looking at it, I think. It was absent from the original release of DMC3, but it was brought back in the Special Edition re-release. And Bloody Palace is like a survival challenge mode, where you're continuously progressing up the floors of this tower, each with its own set of enemies waiting to kill you. There are 9,999 floors in all. They get progressively harder. There are boss waves. In Devil May Cry 3, once you complete a floor, you can choose from various portals. The fire portal will jump you forward 100 floors, whereas the lightning portal jumps you forward only 10, but it gives you a white orb to replenish your devil trigger, and the water portals move you up by only 1 floor, but you're rewarded with a green orb on the next floor. So it's kind of a tactical choice. Do you just plow ahead and do as few floors as possible, or do you have to kind of stop to replenish your resources, because it can be quite draining. Devil May Cry 4 brought the Bloody Palace back, which we will see a little bit later, but with only 101 floors, which you climb 1 floor at a time. There are also a couple of unique scenarios in that one, like actually getting to fight Credo as Dante, which was sorely lacking from the base game. And the other major addition to Devil May Cry 3 SE was this, a fully playable Vergil. Now you could plug a second controller in during the Arkham fight in Devil May Cry 3 to take control of Vergil temporarily, but in Special Edition, Vergil is just his own, fully fleshed out, unique character, even with his own campaign. Which, yeah, you know, it's mostly a retread of Dante's, but he's, again, fleshed out. He's completely his own entity. He's got his own unique Dark Slayer style, which admittedly is mostly like Trickster. He's got a ton of other unique attributes as well, but since DMC4 SE also added Vergil in, that game's Vergil has all of the abilities of this Vergil and more, so we're going to save the full breakdown for a little while from now, just a couple minutes. For now, I just wanted to show a boss fight against Cerberus with Vergil to convey the idea of how Vergil plays differently from Dante in this game. Vergil is supposed to be more elegant, he's more decisive, and he has no proper firearms. He uses his summon swords instead as a projectile. So in 3 SE, his Dark Slayer style gives him access to those Trickster-like teleports as his main means of mobility. In 4, the style is gone, but he retains the ability to teleport as a key element of his playstyle. In 4, he also retains his summon swords. Tapping the shoot button will just materialize one. Holding it will create a spiraling ring of summon swords around him. Cool for juggling. You can also modify that to crown enemies with the summon swords, or launch a barrage of them. Or even make it rain summon swords from above. What he does not have in 3 at all, that was added in 4, that further emphasizes and accentuates his playstyle, is the concentration mechanic. Now, since Vergil is supposed to be serious and focused, that's represented by that blue bar that fills when you are locked onto an enemy, slowly approaching them, deliberately approaching them. When you actually hit them, it fills up, and it drains when you run away or when you miss attacks. And as it fills up, your damage, your speed, and your range increase. On top of that, like I said, he's got Yamato, Force Edge, and Beowulf in both 3 and 4, and their movesets are as follows. So he's got Yamato combo A, very basic. Yamato combo B, which also, at the end, launches them into the air. And Yamato combo C, which is kind of like Yamato's version of Million Stabs. For holding the button, you can do a judgment cut, and he's also got a Devil Trigger version, a Devil Trigger exclusive version called Judgment Cut N, which is so dope. Still got his Rapid Slash, kind of a stinger, and there's also a follow-up to Rapid Slash, which is a launcher. It's called Rising Star. He's also got his High Time variant as a launcher and Aerial Rave A, as well as Aerial Rave Combo B. For Force Edge's moveset, it's a little more familiar. You've got combos A and B. Combo B for Force Edge is actually kind of wild. He uses both Yamato and Force Edge for it. He's also got High Time and Helm Breaker. He's got a Stinger, which you can combo into Million Stabs. He's got a Round Trip by holding Triangle, and Drive with the Overdrive follow-ups. And finally, for Beowulf, we've again got an A and a B combo. My personal favorite move, which is Lunar Phase. I can do that all day. We've got the chargeable Beast Uppercut that comes out like a Shoryu Reppa at full charge. He's got maybe my favorite version of the Killer Bee dive kick. I think it's called Starfall. And Kick 13, which is always his triangle and circle. And Vergil also has some unique cutscenes for his campaign, even though it's just the campaign itself is repeating the main structure of the base game's campaign. He doesn't have a handful of unique cutscenes, like this one.
The Order of the Sword, huh? They worship a demon as a god. Just what are your true intentions?
And following that exhibition of the opening cutscene for Vergil's campaign, I thought that I would cut out a post-commentary for a second to show Mission 2 is Vergil. Mission 1 is the same thing that always is, which is just the basic movement and control tutorial against Dante back in the church. Yeah, I thought I would cut out a post-commentary to show a full mission as Vergil, instead of just doing the Bloody Palace exhibition. Because I feel like this mission, it's decently long. It's got a nice amount of enemy fights where we could show off all of his movesets in action. And it ends with the burial boss fight, which is always a solid one. And it will give us a nice overview of his campaign and playstyle. Which, man, I never thought we were actually gonna get. Back when DMC4 came out in, what, like 2000... Was it 2006 or 2008? It took a long time for DMC4 SE to actually come out. Nobody thought that it was actually going to happen. Something I love about the Summoned Sword Ring is that it makes destroying environmental objects for red orbs so much less tedious. And the only thing that sucks about... Oh man, that's fun. About doing an exhibition of his playstyle in just Mission 2 is the enemies are so squishy and there are so few of them per fight that you can't do you can't go too crazy and do like really stylish things against them, but you can get a good feel of how his moves fit together, how he's supposed to play. And I'm really glad they brought back Daniel Southworth, who voiced Vergil in DMC3. I didn't know that he was also a Power Rangers alum until someone in Discord was saying it. I was watching the Power Rangers Twitch marathon. I started hearing Vergil's voice. It's like, oh my god. As an aside, why is In Space and Time Force actually so good? It's actually legit good. So we pick up the Evil Legacy like we do in Nero's campaign. It's not exactly the same since we don't have the Devil Arm, we don't have the Snatch ability as Vergil. Even though we can do some of the same things that Snatch does, like grab that red orb. It's still our basic, like, you know, grapple around platforming mechanic to traverse the level. So they don't have to change the level structure that much. Lady, when she comes up through here, has the same deal, except she uses her wire mechanic. Messing around with Beowulf a little bit. Jesus, the game feel of Beowulf. So superb, so goddamn on point. Everything about the love and the care that they put into SE is evocative of that. Just superb loveliness. And Vergil himself is fantastic. Like, all of his moves feel pretty good. They clearly put a lot of thought into how to take the playable Vergil from DMC3 SE and not just transplant him into 4, but really expand upon him. And I think what I appreciate most is how they cleverly implemented the concentration meter. It's this really smart mechanic that is informed by Vergil's character. Like, it rewards you for being like Vergil, you know? For being composed and decisive. But at the same time, it doesn't really restrict you from playing in that stylish way that DMC is built upon. It doesn't take anything away, it just adds. It's such a good idea. And you know, I'm always a fan of when developers find ways to implement mechanics that are relevant in some way to either the story or the characters. When they blend gameplay and characterization, I always find that something that I really appreciate. I think we're going to come back here and break the red orb fountain. Anything up on the awnings? I don't remember. There may have been a red orb cache up here. I actually forget. There is a red orb. There's a potential red orb cache up above, or up ahead. But Vergil doesn't have the double jump that Nero and Dante have access to. And I don't think his double trigger lends him an extra jump either. So if there is a way up there, I actually am forgetting it. Keep in mind, I haven't actually gotten to take that much time to play the Special Edition content. I've just kind of gotten time to get a feel for these characters, how their moves really fit together. But I have not yet gotten to explore these characters in their full depth and really dedicate significant amounts of time that they deserve to them. So what you're seeing me do is the tip of the iceberg, man. It's scratching the surface. I've seen some pretty gnarly looking combo videos for the SE content already. It's been out at this point for what, 2 years now? Was it 2015 that came out, or it may have been even 2016? But there is very clearly a great deal of depth, just as much so as there is for Nero and Dante. Vergil exhibits all of those traits that make him flexible and capable of really stylish stuff. Trish and Lady as well. In the bonus video, we will see them and some of their moves, and not quite as an in-depth exhibition as I'm giving to Vergil, which is not too in-depth, but it's not going to be this big sprawling thing. But I am 100% positive that they too hold a lot of potential, which just makes the amount that they added to SE, 3 extra characters, all distinct from one another, that much more impressive. I'm really, really happy with DMC4 SE. It's a marked improvement over 4, which we've gone through the LP by now. You know that I am a fan, to say the least, of everything 4 has to offer. It has its weak points, but mechanically it is unassailable. It is an unmitigated success as far as the core gameplay goes. And they just doubled down on what makes 4 great with the Special Edition re-release. Ooh, just barely avoided getting clipped. I think missing health from something, but I think that's from before. You can keep that going for a while. It's like the million stabs crazy combo. And then the aerial rave combo B, it's tap tap, delay, tap tap. That's always how I do the notations for DMC. Oh man, it's a great aerial rave. I could do lunar phase all day, every day, regardless of just repeating that same thing, not being stylish. The feel of it is great. It's satisfying as hell to do. And we are unfortunately out of cannon fodder. We have one thing left to show off, and that is the burial boss fight, which is good. He's not, I think I said this back when we initially fought him as Nero, he's not the gatekeeper that Cerberus is for Devil May Cry 3. That feels way better than using the Devil Arm, actually, grappling around that way. Burial is not the gatekeeper, but he's still a solid, non-gimmicky, straightforward challenge, which makes him really good to just screw around against. You don't have too many other bosses that give you that opportunity. Echidna, you get phases where you can really go wild. Same thing with Bale and Dagon. Credo is more of a rival battle. This is also a really fun way to end fights as well as open them, but we'll build up Devil Trigger as we progress through the fight. This is explosive. Build a trigger back, so might as well use some of it here at the beginning. Holy shit, that's so explosive. Speaking of explosions, I didn't make it out in time. It's okay. Because we still got that thing in the arena, which I think we saw a little bit of when we fought Burial as Nero, but all of the houses around here, like, all of them are just littered, lousy with green orbs. I suppose it's because Burial is the first significant challenge of the game. They want to ease you into the challenge of DMC4 in case you're new to it by giving you all these green orbs to fight him with in his arena. God damn, look at this. I really love his summon swords, all of his jump canceling on the Killer Bee. One of the best versions of that Killer Bee dive kick. Oh no, what is it? It's Starfall in this one. it'll always be Killer B to me. But that is mission 2 for Vergil, so I think now we're going to go back into the episode in post-commentary and take a look at Trish and Lady as well. Okay, we're back in post because we're not done yet. 4 SE not only put in work with Vergil, they gave us Lady and Trish to boot. Made them absolutely distinct from the other 3 characters. Lady is a super heavy hitter. A lot of her moveset revolves around her firearms and charging them up. They are her only weapons. Kalina Anna, the handguns and her shotgun. So you switch between those and you always have Kalina Anna's bayonet available as a melee option. She's got this unique devil trigger, which is more of a burst. So instead of enhancing her abilities over time, she throws out a bunch of grenades that are simply devastating. And she's also got this wire gun mechanic that can toss grounded opponents far away into the air or slam aerial enemies to the floor, which is very, very satisfying to do. So the bayonet has one standard slow combo. She's a slow heavy hitter. The stinger is instead a whirlwind swipe. Back in triangle, jumps Lady back while tossing bombs out. She's got her own take on Helmbreaker, which feels super good to do. She's got one aerial raid, again very slow and standard. As a gun, Kalina Ann also has a bunch of other abilities like chargeable rockets you can charge up to 4 times. If you manage to get it all the way up to level 4, you usually get an immediate triple S and disgusting damage. She has multiple, which is a homing missile, and hysteric, which is a classic wild weasel barrage. Her shotgun is also chargeable, up to 4 levels of charge. Double barrel is like fireworks, and rush hour is like a gunstinger with a follow-up move that sends her flying back. So a lot of her moveset is about charging up. Her handguns have that same property again. She's got two-hand, which can launch, and it can also air juggle. And Trigger Happy is just a big barrage again. When I say that she is a heavy hitter, I mean it. She packs a serious punch with this focus on slow range combat and really big, devastating impacts. And then finally, we've got Trish, who is melee focused mostly, but she switches between bare knuckles and using Sparta. She's also got some pretty boring handguns, and her devil trigger is also kind of vanilla. Oh, and she's also got Pandora with the Epidemic Bowgun configuration, Hatred, which is a rocket launcher, and the second best one, Revenge, the big laser cannon. The good stuff, though, is Sparta and her bare knuckle moves. So for Sparta, we have her standard A and B combos. She's got high time with a standard aerial rave, and Trish's range with Sparta is huge, by the way. One of her cooler moves is called V-Divider, which is this awesome get over here, and a round trip, which actually acts as a foundation for some of her bare knuckle moves. More on that in a second. So for the standard bare knuckle moves, for bare knuckle, there's combo A, which is an overdrive follow-up, explosive damage. There is combo B, which is a combination of Sparta and her kicks. It's like her own version of Dance Macabre. And bare knuckle has its own version of high time called High Voltage. And her dive kick, which leaves a trail of lightning, which leaves enemies in a juggle state. She's got Rolling Thunder, which is her spin that ends with a heel kick. Then you've got combo C for bare knuckle, which is done during a high time. And then she has this follow-up at the end of it called Electrical Dance, which is also super sick. And also combo D. Again, it requires high time, and it has a follow-up at the end of combo D called Thunder Blow. Plus, there's this ground pound that you get during high time called Collider, which can cause a juggle state. So that's it for Trish. Her playstyle is largely based around following up the ends of combos or moves with other moves and stringing all of that together. She feels really nice and stylish in her moveset. It's very modular, since there's so much interplay between bare knuckle and Sparta. And that's about it for DMC4 SE and 3. 4 SE is 5 characters, man. Nero, Dante, Vergil, Lady, and Trish. They all share a campaign you can play through with each of them. Lady and Trish are divvied up like Nero and Dante. They are all distinct as characters. They're all deep as hell. 4 SEs is such a masterpiece of creativity and effort. And that's all I have to show for this LP, so thank you all, hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, take it easy, have a good one, everyone.